Novak Djokovic thing has been very fascinating, but basically he's not, to our knowledge, vaccinated, and he's one of the, if not the top tennis player in the fucking world. And it's Australian, I think, what is it, the Australian Open that he's attempting to try to play at. It's been a bunch of issues, he's being deported, he's being not deported, what's going on. And I wanted the latest because it looked like he had his deal back authorized, him being having the ability to be in the country. But now he faces deportation again, and this has nothing to do with health or anything. Wait till you read what the Australian government actually is saying in this regard as far as why they are saying this, or rather doing this. This is documented by the Field that did this one. Yep, Shiver of Blaze says men's world #1 tennis player Novak Djokovic has had his visa application revoked by the Australian government a second time due to his being unvaccinated against COVID-19. The Serbian tennis star now faces deportation once again and will be unable to defend his title at the 2022 Australian Open unless he can win a last-minute appeal. The Guardian reported the Australian Immigration Minister, Alex Hawke, on Friday used his ministerial discretion to revoke Djokovic's visa on public grounds, saying his presence at the tournament could, and this is really the only news that I want to discuss. This is what he, quote, said, excite anti-vaccination sentiment. So it's not about anything other than this guy is popular, he is impactful culturally, and he's not vaccinated, and his competing could then influence people to basically be the same way, or rather be more so against this charade that we've been keeping up in fucking Australia. In a statement, the minister reportedly said he canceled the visa on health and good order grounds on the basis that it was in the public's best interest to do so. He added that Prime Minister Scott Morrison's government is firmly committed to protecting Australia's borders, particularly in relation to the COVID-19 vaccination. Immediately following the order, Djokovic's attorney, Nicholas Wood, proposed a hearing to consider overturning the cancellation. He argued there was no rational basis for the conclusion and noted that Hawke's reasoning was radically different from the reason for the cancellation. Again, basically, we didn't. All right, so, cancellation previously was bullshit. We're trying it again, and now it's for a different reason. And this reason is straight up social political more than anything. So he had that exemption, got it revoked, got it reinstated, got it revoked. It's just all sorts of bullshit. He was like basically effectively in a little immigration prison, if you will, or hotel or whatever they call it. It's a prison, and nonetheless, where he couldn't do anything for a while there. This guy's sham is up, and it's been up for a while. But there's something to learn from this, and this is just going to be the message that I have said for a very long time. The reason why the authoritarian left is so successful is because they, unlike, unfortunately, their adversaries, they understand the importance of culture. And now some of you, and there may be, I'm not saying there aren't, I'll tell you what, the minister's correct. It may be stupid, but he's correct. And stupid in the sense that, okay, now he's flailing, like he's looking for something else as a reason to cancel a visa. But he's correct. Yes, you're talking about the fucking world's top tennis player who is holding the line. Yes, that is going to be impactful culturally and influence people culturally. The thing that's different, the American left has figured out, and they had figured out, not American left, excuse me, the authoritarian left had figured out in the West, is that shit is important. Outside of politics, that is important. And this is why they work so hard to keep athletes, actors, actresses, and all of those guys that are involved in these subcultures on their side, because they understand how impactful and how that, just by their sheer existence, how that resonates with the everyday average person. So they consider him a threat. It ain't got nothing to do with health. It's that we have something that we have been perpetuating for 2 years, right? And now we got these jabs. We had these jabs for like a year or whatever, or closing in on that. And this has been the number one thing that we have been selling our citizens as a means to get on the other side of this. Yeah, they've lied they fucking ass off. But the sham has to be kept up, okay? And you know what a threat to that is a person of influence that ain't chicken shit and will play chicken with you. The Kyrie Irvings of the world, the Djokovic's of the world. Those are the people who have the power to change the tide, and they know that. Again, that's a big fundamental difference between a lot of folks on the opposite side, because this was stuff people thought were trivial, that, you know, we're on the opposite side of the authoritarian left, right? They often will be like, yeah, you know, it's an athlete, who cares? It's a dumb fucking athlete. Shut up and dribble, right? You know, that type of shit that they would say, not seeming to understand how fucking powerful and impactful these guys' words are and their actions are to just everyday people. More people know who the fuck this man is than they know who their local politician or state representative or local representative. They know who he is over them. And that's why it's so impactful. The only difference is that the authoritarian left not only figured it out, but they went out of their way to infiltrate all of these subcultures and definitely in the entertainment space. So they didn't have to have the best ideas on their side. In fact, most of the ideas are retarded. They've convinced a bunch of people, after telling them the opposite for decades, they've convinced a bunch of people to fucking wear cloths and masks to stop a goddamn virus. And you ain't got to watch the motherfucker. They convinced a populace to run around with a diaper on their face. And yeah, it's retarded, but that goes to show that you don't need the ideas on their side. You don't have to be correct. You don't have to you even got to make sense. When you got the culture on your side, you got the politics by default. So he's correct. He's correct. The minister's correct. Yeah. Him going out, definitely holding the line after y'all done gave him so much shit. And he goes out there and holds the line and don't let him go out there and actually win the motherfucker. Oh, yeah. It's going to be a lot of people influenced looking at him and his vaccination status. That's just the reality. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.